people once rented this fruit by the hour instead of buying it. Why would anyone pay to just look at a pineapple? Pineapple originated in South America, likely in the region spanning modern-day Brazil and Paraguay, where indigenous peoples had cultivated it for thousands of years before European contact. Christopher Columbus encountered it during his second voyage in 1493 on the island of Guadeloupe, and reportedly became one of the first Europeans to taste it. He carried some back to Spain, and almost immediately, European royalty became fascinated by this strange, spiky fruit unlike anything grown on their own continent. The problem was simple: pineapples required tropical heat and humidity to grow, conditions nowhere close to what Europe's climate could naturally provide. For over 2 centuries after Columbus's discovery, importing fresh pineapples to Europe remained essentially impossible, since the fruit would rot completely during the months-long ocean voyage from the tropics. European monarchs could see paintings and descriptions of pineapples, but almost none of them ever actually tasted one. This scarcity transformed the pineapple into an object of genuine obsession among European aristocracy. King Charles II of England commissioned an entire painting in 1675 specifically depicting himself receiving a pineapple as a gift, a deliberate display of wealth and royal connections powerful enough to obtain such an impossibly rare fruit. Owning, or even simply displaying, a pineapple had become a direct symbol of status few could match. By the 1700s, wealthy European growers began attempting to cultivate pineapples domestically using specially constructed heated greenhouses called pineries, requiring constant fires and expensive glass structures to artificially recreate tropical growing conditions. The cost was staggering, and successfully growing even a single pineapple could take years of dedicated effort, making a homegrown fruit even more prestigious than an imported one. Here's where things get genuinely strange. Growing a pineapple became so expensive and rare that wealthy hosts began renting them specifically to display at dinner parties and social gatherings, rather than actually eating them. A single pineapple could be rented for the evening, displayed prominently as a centerpiece to impress guests, then returned to its owner, sometimes rented out repeatedly until the fruit finally rotted beyond any further use. This obsession spread architectural fingerprints across England that still exist today. Wealthy landowners commissioned entire buildings shaped like giant pineapples, most famously the Dunmore Pineapple in Scotland, built in 1761 as an extravagant garden folly. Stone pineapple carvings began appearing on gateposts, rooftops, and building facades throughout England, permanently marking a homeowner's wealth and status through architecture alone. Meanwhile, in Britain's American colonies, pineapples carried their own distinct symbolism, becoming closely associated with hospitality and welcome. Colonial innkeepers reportedly displayed carved wooden pineapples above their doorways to signal that weary travelers were welcome to rest, and wealthy colonial households sometimes rented pineapples for social events just as their European counterparts did, adopting the same performative display of status. Everything changed dramatically in the 1800s and early 1900s as steamship technology advanced and canning methods improved. Pineapple cultivation expanded rapidly across Hawaii, and companies like Dole began mass-producing canned pineapple starting in the early 1900s, transforming what had once been an impossibly rare aristocratic luxury into an affordable grocery store staple within just a few decades. By the mid-1900s, pineapple had become so thoroughly ordinary that its centuries-long history as a status symbol had almost completely faded from public memory. The same fruit that kings once commissioned paintings to display, and aristocrats once rented rather than owned, now sat stacked casually in supermarkets worldwide, available to virtually anyone for the cost of a few coins. So think about that opening question: why would anyone rent a fruit just to look at it? Because for nearly 300 years, a pineapple represented something almost no amount of ordinary wealth could buy: access to the tropics themselves, delivered fresh to a cold European dining table. The next time you casually toss one in your shopping cart, Remember, this fruit once determined who counted as truly powerful in European high society.